Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Morning Motivational Rant. I am your host, Dino the Genetic Marvel, and with me, as always, is my spectacular co-host, Crystal Morency. Good morning, Crystal. How are you today?
I am doing fantastic, Dino. Tell me how. I want to know how you are. How have you been?
I've been binge watching Harry Potter for the last 2 days. It has been an emotional.
Why we're bosom buddies.
Neither of us have bosom. Neither of us have a bosom.
It's
not.
I know. That's why together we got bosoms. So.
I don't want to follow that train of thought. Anyways, so yeah, I've been binge watching Harry Potter yesterday and today, and it has been a roller coaster of emotions. And this is the problem is I feel like I'm turning into like a shitty English teacher at some points, because you know how like in school they'd be like, what did Shakespeare mean when he described the curtains as blue? You're like, he was saying that they're blue, jack off. They're like, no, it was his emotional state. And I kind of slipped into that a little bit where I was like, how is Harry Potter really feeling about these? And I'm just like, I am such a twat. Like sometimes, you know, I feel like
No, you're using your imagination. You're trying to learn about what's going on.
But there are times. Well, that's the thing is like, it's a weird movie to watch, right? Like the best part was like, I love the scene where, like in the first like 15 minutes, where the Dudleys take Harry Potter to the island, and they're just trying to get away from everything, and Hagrid shows up. And I love when Hagrid sits down and looks at Harry and he's like, you're a wizard, Harry, right? Because that can be, I've seen memes about that. It's like, you're a blizzard, Harry, and he's holding it upside down. It's like, you're Charizard, and he's a Pokemon. Like, it's just all sorts of stuff that, you're a lizard, and he's like, ugh. Like, it just works so well. But the funny thing...
I love them. All of them I have.
Oh,
and I have the first book, because it's the only... I've read all of them, but I own the first one.
Don't worry. Christmas is coming.
It's awesome.
But like that's the whole thing. Is like when you watch them. I don't know why you just went like that. Why
are we gonna dress up for Halloween like Harry Potter characters?
I just want to let everyone who's watching this know this is my nightmare. She's already convinced me. She's like, we're going to do face masks. And I'm like, I don't want to do a face mask. And then she teamed up with Victoria. And Victoria's like, you should do a face mask. I'm like, fuck you both. And now this is the thing, is we're doing this.
We want you to nice and easy your beard. That's on today's episode, which is our 60th episode. Because high five, Dino, for putting up with me for 60 hours.
And high five to you for putting up with me. Because trust me, I am a dick.
Back at you.
I am a dick.
Oh, today's episod, I don't shut up. I was having a very bad...
It only gets worse. The next couple episodes are rough. I'll tell you that right now. They're quite the roller coaster of, the one that's coming out of...
Things were...
Yeah.
Things weren't very...
Listen.
I'm sorry, guys.
No.
I really apologize.
Don't apologize.
This is why I'm like, how are you, Dino? Tell me, please.
No, I've stopped eating my edibles on a daily basis. I felt I was getting fat because I get really bad munchies, and then I will eat everything. I will eat literally. The difference is you're the size of a thimble, and you'll go to a buffet and eat this much. No, it's fine. But this thing is, so I will eat, and the problem is I will gorge myself, and it's not healthy. It's not good for my body. It's not good for my emotional state. It's not good for anything. So I've been doing that, and I've just slowly been losing a little more weight and stuff, and because I gained a little bit, and I was like, because I don't really feel like I feel right now I'm a little too big for myself. Like I was way too big. So I lost about 50 pounds over quarantine, right? And now I'm sitting around about 400 pounds, which the worst part is when I say 400 pounds, people are like, God damn it. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm also a very large person. So it's horrible. Don't get me wrong, but it's not as bad as you think.
I was still like,
I do not look like the blueberry from Willy Wonka. I'm not.
No.
I'm not round. I'm a.
No, he carries it
I'm
well.
an oval. I'm an oval person. That's what I am, right? So,
He's never gonna be 160 pounds. Like he
no, God, no.
like smoke all of the crack, and he'll never be 160 pounds.
That's you know what, and I honestly I don't want to be like I have a weird relationship with being
You couldn't.
big.
Your body's not built that way.
There's no way. There's no way.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like your body's just not built
No,
that
exactly.
way.
You're absolutely right. Like, listen, if I was literally just skin and bones and tendon, I would still be probably over 200 pounds. Like I'm not.
Yeah.
I am a big man with big bones, and especially in the crotch. No. But yeah, it's.
Hey, you talk about your ginormous penis inside today's episode too, apparently. And your turtle.
Oh yeah. Well, hey, some people need to know. It's yeah, I don't know. It's honestly it's tough. So I've stopped eating edibles, and I've been eating less, which is great. So I'm losing a little bit of weight, which is nice. But that's the thing is, at this size, even at this size, I don't feel as pretty as I know I am. You know, I'm just a little bit chunky, and that's why
You're beautiful.
And I do appreciate that greatly. Like it's all, and you know what, Victoria's like, I love you, you're beautiful, and I'm like, fuck off, you lying Asian. But you know, it's the same thing.
She's just trying to get into your pants, which means that you're hot.
I know, but I'm like,
you
I don't.
should take it.
I know, but it's more so. It's me. I'm the problem, right? Like and that's why I'm like, I'm more comfortable around like the low to mid 300, like 300 and 350, around that area. I feel comfortable. Like I can still move. I have just a little bit of speed. Like it's, you know, that's my happy area, right? But and that's why I'm like, I think that's a good.
Maybe you guys should. Do you guys go for walks at nighttime or anything? Maybe.
Oh no. I don't like. That's the thing is, Victoria's been exercising and stuff, and she's losing weight, and I'm very happy for her.
Just going for a nice walk, though. While you have your cigarette or something, you know, just go for a little walk.
I have weird associations with all sorts of things. Like when I go for a smoke, I don't like talking to people. I don't that's my mental decompression 5 minutes, you know?
Yeah, so just go for a walk then while you have a smoke.
Yeah, but I don't find a walk decompressing. That's why. I find a walk burdensome. And if I could, I'll be honest with you. You remember in WALL-E where everybody had those like chairs that they would produce food and everything? I would be happy like a pig in shit. I'll tell you that right now. And all those guys who are like, we lost bone density, I'd be like, this is my life since I was born, motherfucker. That's great. So, but yeah, no, I've been watching. I just missed the last part of the Order of the Phoenix, where
you need some vitamin D, and you need to go for a walk so that way you don't get the vid on me, so that way we can still make videos.
You make it sound like I would stop making videos. I would be coming out with snot from my nose and still be like, I'm still here, motherfucker.
I'm not looking at that.
That's okay. We can do it.
I put my foot down.
Her giant size 48 feet. No, it's.
Yep. Come on.
No. Like, and that's.
You're so pretty. And with a little vitamin D.
No, I do like.
And not the D.
Every time we lasted 8 minutes, and then she's talking about giving to you the D. You're like, God damn it, such a pervert. Yeah, no, but I've been good. This is the funny thing is, so normally on the weekends we will like binge watch a show or a few movies, and there's a few movies that just came out on Netflix and stuff, so we wanted to watch it, and then I found out that Harry Potter was playing, and Victoria's like, hey, did you watch it? I go, no. We're watching Harry Potter all weekend. She's like, you know, we could watch. I'm like, put in my foot. I'm like, because I never really do that. Like, I don't say, no, I want to watch this and I don't care. And I'm like, no, Harry Potter. I know you like Harry Potter, so fuck you. We're watching Harry Potter. And she's like, and the worst part is it shows like three, like the 1, 2, and 3 was yesterday, and then it shows 1, 2, and 3 again, and I watch both of them, and she gets so mad at me about it. She's like, you literally just watched this. I'm like, yeah, and I still love it, so go to fuck yourself. And she's very mad about it. But
I do that.
Yeah.
I do that with Beverly Hills Cop too.
Yeah.
I watch all of them, and then Batman's, all the Batmans.
It's
Like,
and that's the thing.
Lethal
There's
Weapons.
actually so Victoria had never seen Lethal Weapon, so I got her to binge 1 to 4, and she loved it. She loved it, and yeah.
Frick, I love when you meet people or when you find out someone hasn't watched something that you really love.
Yeah.
You're like, yes!
The worst is when they don't, and they're like, "This is the worst thing ever," and you're like, "I have to kill you now." Oh no, I feel bad. You're like, you're a burden on
You're
society.
not loving this?
If you're not loving this,
we can't be together.
you're gonna have to die. That's why it's not. That see that's I enjoy.
Or at least faking it for me. And taking it to your death that you don't love
Victoria
this.
has done that a couple times where she's like, "Oh yeah, it was great." I'm like, "You want to watch it again?" She's like, "Never in my life." I'm like, "Yeah, that's what I thought." I'm like, well, it happens. But so yeah, no, that's been kind of my thing. It's very. I cry too much these days. I'm very emotionally sensitive. It's very perturbing. I don't enjoy it. It's very weird.
I'm sorry.
No, it's not like sad tears, but I connect with the emotion that is going on in the movie, and it makes me feel dirty. I'll be honest with you. I feel gross afterward. I'm like, oh, it's all these emotions and things. It's as if someone has been crying all the time, and they've been influencing me to feel things. I don't know who, really.
Am I that? I am so that woman.
You know what, though? You're not that bad. Let's be honest. You're not the cry for everything. You're just in a very emotionally intense situation for like 3 months.
All the time.
It's been quite some time. I'll be honest with you. I'm a little worried about when things are normal, how we're gonna get along, because it's kind of like we've gotten used to this roller coaster and kind of and
No, I'm good at, like, I don't know normal. No, I'm good at it. I'm very excited to go in the bush.
Yeah.
I'm very excited because I think that I'll be able to be me. And I learned how to do a Canadian knot.
Like, not A? I don't...
No, the knot. Like tying a Canadian knot.
That was a horrible
It's
Canada
the best
joke,
way to
but...
make a bushcraft.
Okay, sure.
It's the best way to make like a bushcraft camp when you tie the trees together. And I learned what kind of trees. I'm not going to disclose this all because I will. But I learned what kind of trees I need to look for, what kind of trees to cut are best, what's wet, what's dip, blah, blah.
Yep. There's a lot of little secrets, and especially remember is like where you can find dry wood is at the bottom of very, very I want to say carnivorous, but I'm not sure if that's the right word. But essentially trees that have a lot of leaves and or thistles, like a pine tree or anything, underneath at their trunk. Carnivorous, I think is the word. But at their trunk, at the bottom, rain doesn't get there. So you can find small branches for kindling very easily there. It's a very helpful tactic because that's the problem is when it rains and stuff, it becomes quite an issue finding dry wood because wet wood smokes a lot and doesn't radiate heat that well. There's a lot of issues with wet wood. Unless you're doing it, then you're doing it right. But
No, I've had some good times with some wet wood.
That's what I'm saying. If the wood's wet, things are working. But yeah, no, it's been an interesting couple days that I've been having, but I am enjoying it.
Why are you crying? So what are you watching? Oh,
it's all Harry Potter.
Harry Potter makes you think a lot too.
Well, this is the problem. So now here, don't get mad at me, okay? And you guys just be patient with this. I believe that the Dudleys weren't actually as bad as they were portrayed. And I'll tell you why. Because I believe that, number one, I'm not saying they were great. I'm saying that they were bad people, but I don't think they were as horrible as we've been led to believe. Because, think about it, the mom, Petunia, her sister got murdered, right? And childhood relationships can become difficult. There's a lot of jealousy involved and things like that. But the other thing is, the whole story is from Harry's perspective, and as a kid, the smallest infraction becomes a huge thing. So I'm looking at it a different way and going, It's because I don't think they were good parents per se to Harry Potter, but I don't think they were as bad as put out to be. And really, the fact that they didn't want him to go to Hogwarts was more so that they were afraid that they were going to endanger maybe him, but more so their own family too.
And the witch thing, like her sister died because of Baltimore,
Exactly,
and all that
right?
stuff. So she didn't want him maybe taking that risk either.
Yeah,
it could have been that way too.
Absolutely, and that's why. And then one of the big things was yesterday was prisoner of.
And look, their kid's a brat.
Oh,
so maybe they had no room other than the.
Did you know that he contractually had to stay fat the whole time they were filming?
Really?
Yeah. Because, afterward, he's actually in The Old Guard. There's a new movie with Charlize Theron, who's a fantastic movie. Charlize Theron, by the way, is a great action hero. On top of that, the funny thing is, she's hotter now than when she was naked in The Devil's Advocate.
Yep.
Right? That's pretty crazy. Mm-hmm. Now she is smoking hot. But she looks so capable and stuff. She is she, I believe, might be the next Sigourney Weaver. Like that kind of, because Sigourney Weaver, goddamn. That was, I looked at Victoria, we were watching Alien. That was another one we watched. We binge watched Alien. And so good.
I like that movie.
Even the ones that come later on, like Alien and Aliens, fantastic. Like unparalleled. The ones later on are shit, but she's in it, so you're going, I'll still watch it. But I even looked at Victoria during Aliens, and I was like, I'll be honest, honey, I would cheat on you with Sigourney Weaver. And she looked at me, she's like, I would too. And I was like, nice. We are of the same mind, honey. She's ridiculous. Anyways, so he had to contractually do that. But one of the big things was, yesterday was the Philosopher's Stone or Sorcerer's Stone. Then what was the second one? Is the Chamber of Secrets. And then the Prisoner of Azkaban. Now, the Prisoner of Azkaban, goddamn, that is a rough movie. Really well done. Really well done. But they really are. Because there's no each one has a different event, a different scenery, a different peak, a different event. Like there's so much going on. But one of the big things was when so here's a spoiler alert. Anyone who hasn't seen Harry Potter, maybe
fuck you
somewhere.
And your mother.
Okay, we can say that. So, but at the end, when in the Prisoner of Azkaban, when Sirius Black and Harry are being attacked by Dementors, there's a scene where Harry thinks that his father came out and used the Patronus spell to save them, and there was two things. Was later on, him and Hermione go, and it turns out that he's waiting for his father to show up, and it was actually Harry. Harry saved himself. Now, this is what's fucked up, is that you see the change on his face when he realizes that no one's coming, and that he realizes it's him. And the spell, the Patronus that he sends out is massive. Now, it was that scene number one, which I'm going to talk about. And then after that, when he leaves, he's kind of bragging to Hermione that he's like, it was me all along, and I knew I could do it because I had already done it. It already happened. And she has this look on her face of terror. And then she says, oh, well, but I'm afraid of flying because they're on a winged horse bird thingy. And I realized two things. Is number one, the look on Harry's face. Well, see, you're laughing now, but when I explain this, trust me, you're not going to be laughing because it's very traumatic.
I've seen all the movies.
No. Yeah, but how I'm going to explain this is going to fuck with you. Okay?
Okay, go for it. The whole movie fucks with you.
Well, they're children. You shouldn't be fucking this. Anyways, so.
Why do you bring this up?
Every time.
Why am I bringing up this? Bring this up?
Literally, the whole world is attacking pedophiles, and I couldn't be happier. Those fucking people need to die. Anyways, so.
Oh, yeah. Anyways.
The look on Harry's face when he realizes that his father's not going to come, it made me cry. Because he realized he was alone. And he had to save himself. And that's a shit fucking feeling. And that really bothered me. And then after that was just because, well, this is the thing, is being alone and having to save yourself is so two-edged sword. It's the worst possible feeling you can have, but also the greatest feeling you can have that you are saving yourself. You're working towards that. And that's the thing, is we so often look at the negative without realizing, no, if you did it, that's a win. It's such a huge win. And the thing is, he plays it off as a success. And I'm honestly, I'm impressed because she really could have gone the other way and made it sad. And she didn't. And she made it positive for him that he was able to come out victorious, but it was just a fraction of a second. And Daniel Radcliffe's a great actor. He really is. I just hate that he's only 5'4". Like, that guy's a fucking midget, and that pisses me off. But
is he really?
Yeah, he's fucking tiny. He's 5'4".
I didn't know this.
Yeah.
I don't get to know my Maple Leaf characters. I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to know them.
So
I want to believe that they are what they are.
Well, and that's the thing, is that fraction of a second, that feeling of despair can motivate you to crumble or to rise to the occasion. And I really feel that we have to do that more often. But the other one was, in the background, when he does that spell, the Patronus. This is really nerdy, by the way. Like, this is crazy nerdy, I know, guys.
No,
but
I love this.
You love it because you're a nerd, too. But, you know.
I haven't even pretty bird the whole time.
So he does the Patronus, and the spell that he does is massive. He takes out, I think it's supposed to be like 100 Dementors. Like, it's a big deal. And the look on Hermione's face in the background is she's shitting her pants. And then they're on the bird horse thingy, and she's like, I'm afraid of falling. But you're looking at her going, they're not, they're already flying. She's holding on to him, and she's just looking at him like, what the fuck are you? Because you're going, this is the thing. There's two ways you can support.
Because he's had to do everything. So.
No, it's not. See, it's not just that. Nobody realizes that because Harry was a Horcrux, he had the power of a exceptionally powerful wizard in his repertoire and didn't even realize it. So it's not only his own skill set that was growing, but he had this reservoir of power that he didn't even realize. Now, nobody really realized, and she is scared shitless because what he did was something that people can't do normally. But, and this is the very big key, and that's why I want to go through the negative and positive. It was the one, the despair can turn into success. The second one was, as his loyal friend, she had a choice to go, buddy, you're a fucking freak. Or she masked it with something else and took heed of his power. So often in life, in work, whatever, everything we do, when we make the decision to rise to the occasion, our closest friends, even our worst enemies, will be amazed with what we can achieve. And there's two reactions they can have. One is fear, which is normal. It's not wrong. The other is admiration and support. And both of those situations, they really hurt me. Not hurt me, but made me feel with the characters, because so often we focus on the despair. Like right now, we're in quarantine and cases are actually going up. It's a fucking nightmare. I'm not going to come out of my house until 2025, apparently, which is driving me crazy. But we can focus on the despair, or we can focus on the achievements we have, the things that we're trying to do.
What we can do next.
Exactly. And then when we see something amazing by someone that's with us, we can offer commendation. We can be amazed, but we don't want to take the wind out of someone's sails. We want to make sure that we mitigate our own fear and don't force that on someone who has risen to the occasion, someone who has outdone expectations. We want to make sure we support it. And those two things, I think, were super, super important. And it's a lesson for kids that I'm sure most kids can't express, but I do believe that people understand that. And that idea where, we're kind of in the system of pointing and looking at, like right now I'm watching The Order of the Phoenix, which has Dolores, what's the bitch's name? The one with the hair.
Oh, the one with the cat and the hair.
Ooh, she is.
She eats children.
And not in a sexy way either. She's just a horrible cannibal.
Dino, there's no sexy way about eating children.
That's a good point, and I retract that statement. Yeah, that was not a good thing to say.
What are you drinking?
Coffee. Iced coffee.
Oh, it looked like beer.
No. It's no, I have a sack.
I was like, are you having a beer?
I have a sack of beer right here. It's just, I just got, but it's just.
That's such a fancy beer.
I'm a fancy man. I'm a fancy man with fancy desires. That's the funny thing is there are a lot of guys who are like, oh, I'll get a Coors Light. I'm like, why? It's the same price as something better. They're like, well, I like Coors Light. I'm like, you're a horrible piece of shit. And then I realized that people say that they like it only because they're trying to save money. And you're like, guy, just get a shot of Jaeger and be done with it. It's gonna cost the same, and it's gonna taste like shit anyway. Just fuck it. And people are like, oh, I love Jaeger. I'm like, no, you don't. You like being drunk, is what you like. Okay, you piece of shit. But anyways, I digress. What I'm trying to say is essentially, especially right now where the whole world is fucking topsy turvy. I think we really need to focus on the thing, and I'm trying to do that on a daily basis because it's fucked, right? Like, there's no benefit to just shitting on everything, and you're like, and I get like I want to be supportive of people fighting for their rights because god damn it, you deserve to have regular rights like everybody else. That's the stupidest thing to have to fight for. Why should I have to fight to be treated equally to everyone else? That's fucking moronic.
Everybody dies. Like, it's that scary world. Like, we always want to fight for acceptance. And I don't understand how we see the value of a human being in how much they value or how far they've gone, like in school, or how far they've gone in life and stuff. That how far have they gone in life doesn't mean how wealthy they are. Like, the richest man in the world isn't the best human being in the world. Like, I don't know why people don't understand this concept is really bothering me. Like, everyone's like, if you pay your taxes, if you do this, that means that you're serving your purpose. Like, as long as you have all your paperwork in order and you go to church every Sunday and you do all this, that's what God wants you to do. You serve your purpose. If you bought a house, if you have a nice car, if you got a good job at this, firm, then that's you're serving your purpose, and you're done. As long as you're sticking to your 9 to 5, as long as you're doing, then you served your purpose in life. Because look at all the people that have ever created anything too. Like, as long as you follow the routine of what everyone else before you, your grandparents did, whatever, as long as you follow that routine, then you're serving your purpose in life, and that means that you're going to heaven. And stuff, whatever we made up in this conversation. Like,
no, but you're
I
right.
was just watching this thing on money last night, and it was like, holy fuck. And then I've been writing a little bit. I've been doing a little bit of writing, not comedy writing, but just writing. And
really?
It's kind of like a personal story writing. And I was like, personal perception and stuff. Yeah. But when you look up personal perception, and I looked up culture, so I've been kind of researching, like, us as a people, and just trying to get to know people. I'm trying to figure out what's going on, kind of.
Well, that's the thing.
And the definition of culture is petrifying.
Yes.
It is I was just like, oh my god, and that's what people really believe, that a good human being means that you're
falling in line, doing as you're told, and being a proper slave. That's what it is. Yeah, it's horrible.
It's scary.
It's the worst. It's the worst.
I don't understand. So, and it's grouping. It says group. Put people in this group.
Yes.
If you qualify in this group, and it's like,
what school did you go to? What place do you work? What do you wear to work? Where do you go to eat? Who do you
basic, general, advanced when you're in school?
Yes. All those things.
Like, it's like,
we are attacked and we're divided and defeated on a regular basis.
And money is wealth as a human being. That doesn't. No. I don't care.
Yeah.
That doesn't make you a better human being. How much money? What? That makes no sense.
I'll tell you right now, guys.
How does that even make sense?
If anyone wants to give me a few $1 million, it will make me a better person. I don't know what she's talking about, but
No, I think it makes you more evil.
It will definitely make me more evil. Let's just be honest, okay? But
I just don't understand how that makes values a person.
Well,
value is not in money.
So I figured out the best analogy to explain that. Would you like to hear it?
Mm-hmm.
So Jeff Bezos is the wealthiest man in the world right now. Okay, he's worth over $200 billion. Okay. And interestingly enough, is just gone through a divorce and by going through divorce has created the most wealthy woman in the world as well, worth $68 billion. So, fuck Jeff Bezos and eat shit and die. Okay, money doesn't make you a good person. Money like power. Well, money like power just extends your or brings to light your inner feelings, your inner thoughts. A lot of these people, and that's why is like a lot of people don't realize that, like Bill Gates, now he dresses like Mr. Dress Up, to try and, or not Mr. Dress Up, Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers. And look how that turned out.
Well, wait, Mr. Rogers is bad? No, Mr. Rogers is fine.
They're all apparently touching people.
No, not Mr. Rogers.
Mr. Rogers one
No! And how dare you?
Okay.
How dare you?
I'm sorry, Mr. Rogers. I'm so sorry.
No. Yeah, no. Mr. Rogers was a cut. He was a cut above.
The one with the train.
I don't know.
Mr. Dress Up, maybe?
Mr. Dress Up was Canadian, so let's not do that. Let's say maybe somewhere one of them did it. But the point being is that this, money, power, it just makes you more of what you are. It's the same idea behind the super soldier serum that gave Captain America his powers. The Red Skull got the same thing, and all it did was evil becomes more evil, good becomes more good. Steve Rogers became Captain America because he was a good man. He wasn't prideful. He would sacrifice himself. He was the one that would jump on the grenade. And he proved that. And that's one of the big things that we have to find out, is that's why it's so important. And this is one of the things that, like, my thought process is that people should not go to higher learning or to become a specialist in something like a lawyer, a medical doctor, anything like that until they are well into their 30s, for the simple fact that they're not even a fucking person. Let them work retail for a couple of years. Let them try and save some money, making shit money. You know, like a politician coming out of school and going into politics is literally a cancer on society. A politician, a regular politician, not the prime minister or a president or anything like that, a regular politician who has not had a full-fledged career in some area to become an expert in that area and successful, and then wants to do a public service by getting into politics, someone who hasn't done that is a cancer and should be expunged. They should be removed from office. That is my personal opinion, and I apologize. We try not to be political or religious, but today we say the fuck it, because we have 60 episodes being released.
I'm gonna run for
and
Prime
we're awesome.
Minister. Vote for Crystal. I've lived enough life. I can tell people how it's done. I think for the schooling situation, I think that the actual curriculum, like the needed classes, even though I'm like, fuck. But I think the actual, like the math, English, science. Hello.
Your video has gone to shit. Give me a second, okay?
Excuse
I'm just
me.
gonna switch to
I've been eating barbecue potato chips. I don't know. Our connection stopped. I don't know.
there we go.
There. Hi.
We're back. Hello. Sorry about that. Go on.
Oh, he now he's gonna bitch because I said the Zoom. I said
No,
that we
no,
shouldn't
no,
do Zoom.
it's on me.
Zoom cut out on us every single day, 100 times a episode.
So this has been much better. This has been definitely much better. And we all have Crystal to thank about it. She's the greatest person alive. Now tell us what your campaign plans are. No.
Fuck, I hate that.
You know what the best part is? I say don't, like we had this, I think it was it must have been like one of our earlier episodes where I was like, you emailed Victoria, so Victoria was being extra affectionate.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, this is freaking me the fuck out. I don't like it. And then every once in a while I'll send her a comment like, hey, you're doing great. Be awesome today. And she's like, fuck off, you're such an asshole. And I'm like,
I don't know. I'm like, I don't even want to deal with my moment. Why are you making me have a
isn't
moment?
Isn't that fucking ridiculous on both our parts, right? It's like neither of us, you're like, whoa. You're showing too much appreciation for what I do here. You're making me uncomfortable. Like, it's so fucking backwards, the fact that we think
but
that
yet
way.
we kind of want it in
Oh,
a way too.
are you kidding me? The whole purpose of this shit is look at me and love me and shower me with kisses, okay?
Yeah.
But as soon as you do
Yeah.
that, I'm like, get the fuck away from me. I feel like
Yeah.
you're gonna try and murder me. It's crazy, right? But this is...
What do you want from me? I'm fucking wet.
Yeah, and you're like, listen, I've had the runs. We're not doing it in the butt. Like, just fucking leave me alone, okay? Just, you know? You're like, listen, I don't know what you're trying to sweet talk me into, but it's not gonna happen, okay? See, this is the problem. Like, we're not connecting the dots. And like, I feel like we haven't in such a long time, because I feel like it's got to go back to what, like 60s, maybe 70s, and it started back then where, you know, the idea of
Nixon did something with the dollar and the gold. I'm just learning about this stuff, but there was something with the gold and or Reagan, one of the two, did something with the gold and the dollar, and all of a sudden shit. And we're gonna go into an inflation.
Stop. We're not going to fearmonger. I'm going to send you a couple specific videos for you to understand how money works, okay?
I've been watching.
Yeah,
That's what the videos I've been watching. How does money work?
Yeah, I worry with which ones you've been watching, because some of them are not very... Well, they're accurate, but they don't really explain the dynamics of the whole process.
Is it 3 cents to every $10, like to print a bill? And the bank actually makes 9.9, but everything is in debt. Everybody has so much debt.
Let me explain it. Let me explain it.
The world is in debt.
Right. And to who? The question is to who. So.
And to money's gonna be nothing. It means nothing.
Well,
it's not good for nothing.
This is the problem. Okay, we've made a great segue. This is fantastic. So the principle behind that is specifically that every dollar that is printed is a dollar that the government has borrowed from the central bank. The problem is, what that means is, think about it, is I borrow $1, okay? I now have interest on that dollar. But the only thing in existence is $1. So you can never pay it off. So inherently, we're always in this cycle of debt. Now, the one thing that will happen is that you can continue to print money. In the past, we used what was called the gold standard, and that has had variations of it throughout history. But the idea was that every dollar essentially could be exchanged for that value in gold. Now, that was removed, and now the accepted confidence of a currency, whatever that means, is related to certain currencies. So in the past, that has been the British pound sterling. Right now, it's most often the US dollar, just because it's such a huge economic standpoint. Now, people have suggested things like Muammar Gaddafi was murdered specifically because he was looking at going back to the gold standard because they were gold rich. And this causes an inequality in economies, because a country such as Libya that Muammar Gaddafi was in control of would have a very little economic impact on the world.
Because they weren't buying all these houses and stuff like that and having all these big fancy cars and all these things that people are getting loans for, like $1 million houses and stuff like that. And they're getting approved for these loans that they can't afford to pay either. And they're getting farther into debt. And it's just like insane.
You have to slow down, because it's a lot of information you're taking in. So this is Crystal's problem, just so you know. Crystal will binge an entire evening and then let it run while she's sleeping. She's just going, okay? And then she comes out, as you can see from, I believe it was yesterday's, where she had a TED Talk on all night long. This, you have to take in the information, you have to stop, analyze it, render it in your mind, and then proceed to gain more knowledge, okay? Because you've literally brought up like 19 million things that I'm trying to explain now, and they don't go together, lady, okay? Just give me some time. See, this is why eventually, I'm thinking somewhere around 2025 to 2030, somewhere between that point, we're going to start having it live. I'm getting a space ready, and we're going to do it in person. when that happens, we plan on having guests and stuff like that, and then talking about various things. But the point then is then we could go into that education process, and we would be able to develop certain things. But in the meantime, we're just going to use fucking Messenger to talk to each other and camcorders to record ourselves. It's very exciting, guys. It's very exciting.
Tell me about banking, Dino. Tell me about money. You should know.
I do know.
Advise people on their money.
I have advised for many years. I still advise some people. So the whole point of money is...
If I had money, I would ask you to advise me too.
Well, that's the thing is, even I have a financial advisor.
How do I spend my last $10, Dino? What should I buy?
You would be amazed at how many times I had people coming in and going, I need a financial advisor. And be like, okay, let me pull up your accounts. Like $11.55. And I'm like, you don't need an advisor, you need a job, asshole. And they're like, yeah, but I need an advisor. I'm like, no, you need some certain, like little things like that. You need certain principles to help you grow, right? That's why
I need to get myself some assets.
Well,
but I don't want to get a loan. I figure I live my life. If I can't afford to buy it, then I don't have it.
Well,
then I don't get it until I earn it.
Look, the whole idea behind all this is specifically that if we can get things going by encouraging people to like, share, and subscribe, we can become gajillionaires like Joe Rogan, and we could...
I don't want to...
That's okay. I'll become...
Teach people about money.
I will become a gajillionaire, and I will make sure you have assets. How about that? Is that fair? I think that's...
Treehouse.
I'll be the responsible one, and then I'll just say, here is your treehouse, lady, for your trees. Okay? And that's perfect. It works out very well. It's getting cold outside, and I feel like... What? I don't know why you're making that weird face.
Nobody runs my money. I work hard for my money. I get my own money. Nobody runs my money.
This is the problem. This is the problem. Is that people think, well, I should do everything. She literally just asked me, what should I do with my money? Teach me about money, Dino. Yeah.
I said it for 5 seconds. Teach me about how money in the world works. That's what I want to know.
This is the worst part.
All those crazy questions I asked.
What a fucking... See, this is the problem. This is the problem with the world, and you're it, okay, you fucking asshole? Is people are like,
Clearly.
Advise me, but then I'm not going to do whatever you want. I'm going to do whatever I want. You're like, well, no. Either we advise and we help process it and achieve the goals, or don't ask me and go do whatever you want, you asshole. Fucking... Women should have never got the vote. That's it.
No.
It's a horror. Actually,
I don't think so either.
That was one thing that has. So I've been watching news while watching Harry Potter this whole time, and one of the big things is there's a lot of focus on. Obviously, right now there's about inequality in regards to people's backgrounds, color of their skin, and things like that. And I worry because we're kind of getting ahead. I feel like it's the equality between men and women is trying to piggyback onto it when I think it's the first thing we need to overcome. I don't know. It's a weird... I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure which is worse. Is racism or sexism? Like they're both horrible, but I don't know. Are you making oatmeal right now? Or Kool-Aid? What are you doing? She's like I don't know. Fun Dip. You're the worst. You're the worst person I know. We just talked about not binging on sugar, and she's like, "I'm literally gonna dip. I'm gonna dip sugar.
I've been eating
sugar into sugar to eat the sugar with the sugar."
I have the munchies so bad. I went to the res to get weed today, and I got a big pre-roll. So I smoked it before this podcast. And I'm like,
And you wonder why I have a million questions about finance. It's great. I think we should install like a power off for your internet off. You're not allowed to watch any more TED Talks until after 11 p.m.
I try to learn on everything. I want to learn everything. I'm taking advantage of this corona and I want to know it all. Well, because I don't want to wait for somebody else to tell me what's going to try to teach me what's going on. Okay. I want to figure it out. It's my life. I've always had to figure it out.
Okay. So listen. We're gonna pull that Band-Aid off right now. Okay, we're gonna pull the Band-Aid. Okay. No one, not you, not I, not anyone, can know everything. We can be familiar.
But I want to know stuff that affects me.
Of course. And there's also nothing wrong with learning that from someone. Because remember, YouTube, sometimes, not here, but other places, is full of shit. So, We have to be careful because remember, what goes in is what comes out. So if you eat the shit, you get double shit in the back. It's no good. It's no good for your pooper. I'm so jealous that you're eating a Fun Dip right now, I'll be honest with you. I think Fun Dip and Big Chew were my like childhood so good. Yeah. And
I didn't get the 3 flavors this time though, just the red ones.
well,
But I got a package.
motherfucker!
So
You know what? I was about to say, well, it's not Christmas. And then she's like, I got a whole pack of them, you motherfucker. Why don't you go fuck yourself? Long weekend. You're celebrating with sugar and diabetes, you son of a bitch. You know what? Like,
okay.
I feel like we should change the name of the show to by our powers combined, we are type 4 diabetes. We both have type 2. We are type 4 diabetes. That's what we get.
You live one time. Greedy it up. Like we're like bedazzled, except bedides.
That has to be the worst thing I've ever heard. I love it. It's great. I don't know. It's a very exciting time to be alive, but at the same time, I'm kind of shitting myself as seeing where everything's going. It's very worrying.
Yeah.
It's like I'm trying to stay positive, and like I got into an argument over the internet yesterday, by the way, with somebody,
Dino.
and he may have been a senior citizen,
Dino.
but I won. And I changed his mind.
Good.
I changed his mind. It was actually really, really satisfying.
Did you know him? Is
No.
it somebody like a person you know?
No.
Oh, okay, then it doesn't matter.
Well-
as long as it's not somebody like.
Well, this is the best part was essentially...
It wasn't somebody on my Facebook, was it?
No, not again. No, that only happened once. That only happened once. That only happened once. No, so an older gentleman criticized my criticism of schools opening up. Okay? So, the schools in Quebec have reopened, and immediately there were 47 cases of COVID-19. And the minister...
It didn't just go away. I don't know what everybody thinks happened.
So the minister of Education for Ontario said that, well, our plan is different from Quebec. And my comment was, it's funny how he thinks different doesn't mean foolhardy and, stupid, right? And essentially, this older gentleman attacked me, saying, "Oh, everyone's gonna just collect syrup for the rest of their lives and stay in a basement." So I said, "No." And he's like, "Well, what's your plan?" So I went into a detailed plan and explained, well, these would be some options. And then he started kind of criticizing back and forth, and I said, "You're not," and I kept my cool through the whole thing, and I said, "You're not. You've criticized my plan. What's your plan? You're stating, like, you haven't added value to this conversation."
You have to make changes. People have to work with what's going on. You have to make changes. You have to make changes. If the kids can't go to school, you have to homeschool now. You have to homeschool now.
But it's more than that. It's more than that. Listen, if a child said, "Hey, I'm not feeling well. I'm going to go home for the rest of the day and do all my classes by via internet," done. Why are we waiting? What's the point? Why is there a list of, if you want to be at home, you have to be on the... No. I should be able to change my mind midday, say, you know what, guys? I'm a little tuckered out. I'm going to go home and finish my classes at home. You know why? Because it's 2020, you morons. It's just stupid. It's stupid that we're limiting things. Hold on.
Is that they do their math, English,
No, you're not.
do their math, English,
She's
and
not
all
sorry.
the important subjects at home, homeschooling. And then they do the extracurricular activities in other locations because it's easier to social distance. Because kids do still need they do need other people, right?
Yeah.
Like they need social interaction.
That's called family.
But you can do it safely.
Look,
in that
there.
homeschooling those way better. Teach your kids what they need to know about fucking life. How about
to do their taxes? How to deal with people on the internet? How to not be a piece of garbage? How to not rape?
Life.
You could teach your kids how to not rape. That's a nice one, huh? It's a good idea.
But maybe you could go about the curriculum better too, because you have that one-on-one time.
Ta-da!
You have that. You have the resources. You can go and buy the extra resources that teachers and schools can't afford.
Let's be very clear. No one is saying that this isn't a burden on parents.
If it is, you have to change. So what? You lose your career?
No.
Guess what? Get a new career.
No, it's not even that.
Like
it's not even that. They're your children. It's your problem. sorry. It does it suck? Yes.
You have to figure it
but
out.
School, there's been this change, and this happened when I was going to school, was school became babysitting for free, government-funded babysitting. It's not. It's supposed to be educational. So if you're having a hard time dealing with your kids, that's because of you. You've done this to your children, and now your children are assholes. Ta-da! So, anyways, let me continue with the story. So this gentleman, we're almost out of time, so I'll wrap it up with this thing. But this guy, essentially, I kept on pressuring him to say, well, what's your plan? What's your plan? What's your plan? Because you're not adding value to this conversation. And then he said his plan, and it was an okay plan. And I, in turn, said, and he goes, oh, and now you can make fun of my plan, whatever. And I said, no, your plan has merit. You just have to figure out these little nuances. And he goes, then why don't we do X, Y, Z? And I'm like, that's a great idea. Why shouldn't we do that? And he was like, oh. And I'm like, I said to him, I go, doesn't it feel better to be part of the solution? And the funny part is he was accusing me of being part of Antifa. And I'm like, guy, I've never voted in my life, okay? I've never been to a protest. Look at me. If I go to a protest, I'm a big target. That's not a good place for me, guys. I'm not sure how many rubber bullets I can take, I'll be honest with you. And granted, there's a lot of space between important organs, but I don't want to take the chance, okay?
We don't want to get y'all bruised up and welded up.
Maybe. Who knows? Might like it. No. But this is the point, is that, listen, you do not, if someone comes at you on the internet, you don't in turn have to be like, well, fuck you. I didn't swear. I pressed him. I said, listen, I want to hear your opinion. Tell me your opinion. And then when he gave me his opinion, I didn't automatically dismiss it. No. Let's talk about it. Let's talk. And at the end of the conversation, he actually liked my final statement. I said, hey, good for you. And I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, did I just win? I just won. I just won, and everyone is happy. This is a great thing. And Victoria's like, you're a loser. I'm like, well, that may be true, but I won. So I'm a winning loser. We've talked a lot. I've been talking a lot, and you haven't. See, this is the problem. Is she'll go on these tirades where she's talking the entire time, and now I'm talking the entire time, and she's gonna be like, "You talk a lot," and I'm like, "Oh, but
I never say that."
She doesn't. I know, but I love to pick it to her.
I like when you talk because I've noticed that I've been having some rambling.
Verbal diarrhea.
On you guys.
It is verbal diarrhea.
I'm venting on you guys.
That's okay. Listen. We're just human beings at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, but everybody's got their own shit. They don't need to hear my shit.
Listen, in a couple episodes, they're gonna hear a lot of it. So I did my best to cut it right. Like I don't cut the episodes. It's very raw, but I cut clips. So I made sure not to cut a clip where
I'm putting somebody down or something.
No, it's more so that you're crying, pretty much for like. 25 minutes of me talking. It wasn't good, but that we laugh in the beginning, we laugh at the end, so that's a good thing. I think we made progress through it, but the problem was I didn't know what was going on, and then you kind of looked up, and I was like, the only way to describe her is like an anime character. She just looked up, it's like, Brah! And I'm like, whoa, what happened? You know. I'm gonna get her. So, have you seen? We're almost out of time. Oh fuck! I'm not gonna start anything new.
That's okay.
No, it's fine.
No, who cares if we go over a minute?
No.
It's not like anybody's like timing us.
It's somebody at home is going. These motherfuckers aren't funny.
They told us it was an hour, and they were an hour and 3 minutes. What
Sons of bitches!
I booked an hour to sit here, listen to these fuckers.
Yeah.
We're lucky.
No,
we're very thankful to our listeners. You guys can hold on for a fucking minute.
No,
okay?
It's like a little octopus that you turn inside out, and one way is a smiley face, the other way is a frowny face. And guys have been buying it for their girlfriend, so their girlfriend will just pop it and put it right beside them, and it's like, oh, she's not happy. Here's some French fries, and she's like, happy now. And I'm like, you know what? That could save a lot of marriages, work, relationships and things like. Just because men don't know. We don't. We have no idea. Some girl is pissed and we're like, hey, how's it going? They're like, oh, it's great. And then 2 seconds later, they're like, I want to fucking murder that guy by drill bitting his fucking eyeballs out. And the guy's like, she's so nice. I'm glad we're friends because we're stupid. Like, that's really what it is. So.
I try to give you, like, looks. I try to, like, kind of like, be
It
like,
doesn't work. It doesn't work. I try. I really try.
I know.
Listen, I have destroyed one marriage, and now I'm successful in a second one. Okay, so far, so successfully so far. Please don't leave me. I love you.
Ooh, you didn't notice I got a bird on shirt.
What the fuck?
A bird on my shirt. And the whole episode, I had a bird on my shirt.
That's
Pretty bird.
very weird. I'll be honest. This is some weird shit. Okay, let's do a morning motivation. We talked yesterday about perspective. What should we talk about today? Deep dives. Let's talk about deep dives.
Deep dives.
There's a huge movement of people trying to bring information to light. We've covered a lot of times talking about conspiracies and things of that nature, where these people who were categorized as conspiracy theorists, which has gone back, we found out, back to like the 50s and 60s, where these conspiracy theorist people essentially were named as such to discredit them. And with the modern advancement of communications and technologies and things of that nature, we found that a lot of these blatant lies were exactly that. So a lot of truth is coming to light, but I want to encourage people to stop taking things at face value. And I know that sounds like bad advice, but hear me out. Is that a lot of the time we don't take that extra minute to find out or verify or confirm things. And when you do some research, you find out that the majority of laws and rules and things that we have to adhere by are controlled by these set of organized steps and systems that have been in play for a long period of time. The problem is that we're not encouraged to dig deeper. We're not encouraged to find out how to bypass or work through that system. And what's created is essentially a bureaucracy that is very difficult to manage, very difficult to navigate. So a lot of the time we're being thrown a lot of information, especially on the mainstream media, and also by people who have been shown to be providing very accurate information, are being criticized, and then in turn they're being fed false information to be bamboozled themselves. So I want to encourage people to, hear things out, to give it that offer of listening to what people have to say. But remember that you don't have to outright criticize people if you disagree with their opinion. You don't have to attack them. But you can take that information away and then do a deep dive. Go find out for yourself. Take the time. Read a book about it. Even just Google it and look at the Wikipedia page. Just take a little bit more time to discover the validity of certain things. And I say that knowing that it's a very difficult thing to not argue with people who you know are fucking retarded. And it's very difficult when you see somebody who's like, that guy's a fucking pedophile, and people are like, really? He's supposed to be a good guy, and then it all comes to light. Now those same people now are saying that some pretty aggressive things that, I'll be honest with you, I don't think people want to believe in general. So I encourage people to not to jump the gun and attack without valid information, but take it away. Instead of believing or not believing, it's kind of the idea of, I accept receipt of this information, let me go validate, right? Just because you receive the information doesn't mean you have to, now it has to be part of my soul. No, I've received this information, let me go and try and validate it. That's what we're missing, that step, I think, a lot of times, and I really feel that we need to get back to that. You can be knowledgeable without being viewed as an expert. You can just be knowledgeable of things. The idea of it's not about being a jack of all trades, it's about being a capable human and taking the time to research things, taking the time to create a valid opinion. And I really think that that's something we need to keep doing, just to kind of get through the fog that we're dealing with these days. And I think that's all I have to say. Crystal, where can everybody find you?
That was great, by the way.
Thanks.
Everybody can find me at Simply Me on YouTube, Crystal Morency on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And Dino, Lord Dino.
Guys, Dino the Genetic Marvel on Dino the Genetic Marvel on YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Also, Morning Motivational Rant, guys. We're all over the place. We're on YouTube, Instagram. We have a Facebook fan page. Our audio of our podcast is also available on Anchor, Breaker, Google Podcasts, Overcast Podcasts, Radio Public, and Spotify. Please like, share, subscribe. In the meantime, stay motivated. We're going 7 days a week at 10 a.m. We will see you tomorrow. Have a great day, guys.
See you tomorrow.
Bye.